So her question is that sometimes you lose your motivation right at the last stretch of doing something. When it's time to reap the rewards, you say, oh, you just throw in the towel and you say, I can't do it anymore. Why? What to do? First of all, always remember the 80-20 rule. 80% of the things will take 20% of the time, and 20% of the things will take 80% of the time. So when you think you are nearly done, you are far from done. You think you are done, or I can see the end. It's like that. You think, oh, it's just a tiny black hole or just this much of space, but there is plenty in it. So often, I also get this all the time when people say, मेरा काम होते होते रुक जाता है जी. बस होने वाला है. Deal is about to get done, but something happens, something works against me, and deal is not done. No deal is done until it is done. No deal is done until it is signed, and you have commenced the work, and the customer has made you the payment, and the customer says, I'm happy. That's when the deal is done, or any deal is done. So when you think, I'm 90% there, first of all, there's a 95% chance you're not even 9% there. It's just an illusion. Because the 20% you think, oh, it's only 20% left, is actually the real work. It's going to take 80% of your time. Think of building a home or a house. What happens? The structure is there, you say it's all done, and then come people who will do the finishing. Painting, plastering, tiling, woodwork. They will take 3 times as much time as it took to just build the house, which you thought was the actual big deal. The big deal is going to start once the house is built. So first of all, usually it's an illusion that 90% of my work is done. There is no way of ever saying 90% of my work is done in anything that's subjective. Only where you have absolute quantifiable measures in place, you can say 90% of it is done. If someone says to you, generate $10,000 and you've done $9,000, you can say 90% of my work is done. If somebody says be successful, you can never say 90% of my work is done. So 80-20 rule is what applies to pretty much everything in life. When you start something, 80% ground you cover very fast. But the rest of the 20% is actually the real stuff. It's the finishing touch, which is going to take all the effort. And unfortunately, with motivation, it is one of those things you just have to build it every single day. Nothing in the world can say you'll be eternally motivated to do something that you do. Because the moment we have challenging bits, the moment we have boring bits, the moment we have adversities looking at us, we say, who's gonna bother with this? But pulling through that is what differentiates good people from great people. Really, that's just about the only thing. When 2 people are in love, they want to get married, the first thought is, once we get married, everything's gonna be fine. But it's only 20% of the job. The real work's gonna start after you get married. Same goes for everything. Somebody works very hard, gets a degree, says, the day I have a job, I'll be just happy, I'll be fine. The work's actually started. Unless it's a sarkari job in India. But the work's actually started. I had met this bureaucrat once, and he said, before I became one, he said, Swami, I thought the day I clear this exam and I'll be in it, I will have absolutely no troubles in life, he said. He said, I really believed that. But he said, I have more troubles now than I ever did in my life. I said, why don't you quit then? I didn't say that. Nobody quits. So it comes with the package. You want to taste a mango? It's gonna come with the skin. It's gonna come with that stone in it. You want to taste an orange? It's gonna have some seeds in it. It's gonna have that skin on top. You have to remove that. So whatever we do, it just simply cannot be all fun. If it is, it probably is not good for you. Just examine again what you're doing. So that's why, people feel that, oh, my work gets stuck at the last minute, the deal doesn't go through at the last minute, or things like that. Motivation is something we build every single day. It's food for the brain, for mind, just like we feed ourselves twice or thrice a day with or without chili. That's subject to individual taste. Similarly, with our brain as well, we have to feed it on a daily basis. Okay. Anything else? So his question is that I've talked about different kinds of meditation in my book, A Million Thoughts. And if somebody is meditating multiple times in a day, 2 or 3 or 4 times, should they just keep on doing one kind of meditation, or can they alternate between different kinds? You can perfectly alternate between different kinds. Rather than not doing meditation, it's better to alternate between different kinds. But eventually the goal should be to build the intensity of one particular kind. To build your perfection. Some people like to be specialists. Some people like to be GPs in medical field, for example. It's up to you whether you want to be a cardiologist or you just want to be a general practitioner. If you want to just be in a state of meditation, then you can alternate between various states, various kinds of meditation. So if you get tired from one, do the other. You get tired from the other, do another kind. Or you can build your intensity on one kind and focus and specialize in one kind of meditation. In the beginning, I only specialized in concentrative meditation. It took a lot of effort, but I focused just on that. I could have taken the easier route out, which was, okay, I'm tired now, I will do other kind. But when I was doing 22 hours in a day, that's when I would alternate as well. But even to do contemplation for an hour, for example, you still need concentration. Otherwise, even if you're contemplating on as simple as why do I get angry, for example, the moment you will start contemplating it, within a few minutes you will be off the tangent and you actually end up being angry. You might get angry for not being able to find out why you're angry at the first place. So contemplation, to be able to analyze, examine, dissect something objectively, dispassionately, requires concentration. And it's the hardest kind of meditation, to be able to build your concentration. But once again, the rewards are huge. Have I answered your question, or have I answered your question? Okay. But you still have some doubt? The best is focus on one kind. Second best is alternate. Third best is do something every day anyway. Fourth is do it intermittently. Fifth is don't do it.